Okay. Wow, it's loud out here. Just got out of Penn Station. It is Wednesday, April, what is this, the 16th? Let's walk down 8th Avenue this morning. No, it's about 8:20. Probably about 50 degrees out. I'm not sure. I don't have a bus station on this avenue to tell me. But let's walk down 8th Avenue this morning. I exited Penn Station on the 8th Avenue side. I was like, you know what? May as well film down this side because I haven't seen it in a while. The Molly Wee Pub. I put in a big order of art supplies last night at dickblick.com. I'm gonna say it's not a great idea to order art supplies. It wasn't really late at night, and I had like 90% of the order already in my shopping cart at Blick from this weekend. I was looking at stuff because I got a little money and little tax return money, so I figured I may as well get some art supplies. But ordering art supplies just before bed makes me contemplate why I'm ordering art supplies. Contemplate my whole existence as an artist, that sort of thing. That's best done in the cold, harsh light of day, rather than at night when you have to get to sleep soon after. But mostly I ordered these acrylic paint markers. I forget what brand they are, but they've got a 2mm tip, so it's a big small tip, and they're also refillable. So I ordered, I don't even know how many, 10 paint markers and like 10 ink marker the acrylic paint refills. So that got kind of expensive, because probably the markers were like, let's look across the street a little. Watch these cars coming. The markers were like $7 or $8 a piece, and the refills were like, I don't know, $8 or $10 a piece. So that got expensive. I ordered, I think a half dozen of. There's a new little black marker that I've been liking lately, which is one that I've been doing those tiny art drawings with. I don't know if I've showed those on YouTube yet. I'll show them sometime. They're little 1 by 1.5 inch drawings. And I've been doing them with a Dick Blick house brand pigment marker, which is 1mm, and another, I forget what brand, another pigment marker that's about 0.8mm, I think it is. So I've been using those two. But I think my last order, which is only a month or so ago, so I got 2 big orders in this spring, which is unusual. But I guess I wanted some new stuff. But I only had I think I only bought 2 of those Dick Blick pigment markers. So I ordered another 6 just to have some. That was part of my order. And the last thing I put on was, once again, some expensive markers. The new Pantone markers. I had tried out them last order, I think it was. And once again, they're pigment-based markers. The difference is pigment-based markers are more archival and light fast than the alcohol dye-based markers I usually use. They're sort of a different thing too. The pigment-based markers are sort of more akin to a watercolor than the alcohol-based markers. And like there's a new set of Pantone ones where, once again, the markers are about $8 and the inks to refill them are about $12. So it's like with one marker and a refill, that's about $20. Oh, there's some wind for us all. So I only bought a blue one to try out in my last order. And in this order, I bought a red one and a yellow one. Well, you know, that's 2 red and yellow plus their refill inks. That's $40 right there. So this stuff adds up. But I think that was most of what I got in that order. Is paint markers, those couple of Pantone markers, various little black markers, and I think that's what, I don't think I got any. There's no paper in there, there's no paint. I actually have here we go into the tunnel. I actually have a bit of paint, acrylic paint, that I think I bought a year ago, some new acrylic paints, because I actually want to do some paintings this summer. I haven't done any bigger paintings in a little while, so that's what I wanted to do. Let's see, can we make it across? I think so. So I have 5 24 by 36 inch canvases lying around. They've been lying around for a couple of years now. I've got to motivate myself to paint on them, because those big paintings take a while, and I might try to motivate myself this summer to do them. But first I got to figure out what I'm going to do with them. I could work up some images for all 5. Matter of fact, I have this one long image that, I don't know, it's 12 years old now that I drew. I was looking at that. I was thinking about maybe painting those on there. But I don't know. I'm also thinking about maybe I want to do some portraits. I haven't done portraits in a while. But then, of course, there's always the question of who am I going to do a portrait of? So that usually stops me from doing portraits. I'm like, I can just draw her out of my head. I kind of like doing that anyway, but I'm always like, maybe I'll draw some portraits, but who knows? First, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with those paint pens too. I got some vague ideas. That's what happens. I see some new art tool or something, and I get vague ideas of what I want to do with them in my head. But then, when I actually go ahead and buy the new tool, like those 2mm acrylic paint pens, that's when I gotta go, I gotta make this vague idea into something substantial. I think all the art supplies are supposed to be in on Saturday, which is the day I usually post this video. So if they come in, I'll probably make an unboxing, as I usually do. And you can see what I bought. What little... I think there was also one set like of the 1mm black pigment marker that I've been using, the Blick one. I think I also bought a set of them that come in various sizes. I figured I'd try out the various sizes too, even though I usually like the bigger sizes, like 1mm or 0.8mm. I think it was only like $10 for the set. All those $10 add up though. I think I ended up spending about $300 on this art supply order. doesn't it? I know we can make it a grot. And that's usually what happens. There's usually like one main theme to my order, which in this case was paint markers. And then I started adding stuff on that I need, that I want to try out, or stuff that I wouldn't kind of buy on some, like one of the things I did, I think it was about $8. I think it's a Westcott gridded ruler that I use all the time, except the grid is wearing out on mine. It's just kind of rubbing off, however it's painted on, so that I really can't see the grid anymore. And I use the grid to line things up. So I'm like, you know what? I may as well throw one of those on the order too. That was another $8 or something like that. Whew. Up, I'm heading to the comic shop again today too, since it's Wednesday. I think I got 6 comics on my list today. 2 of them are Chris Russo covers, and the other 4 are sort of regular comics I get. Maybe a first issue or 2, I don't remember. But I think with these 2, that'll put it at 10 of the 16 Chris Russo alternate covers that I bought from Marvel this month so far. He has 16 covers coming out. Let's see, I also ordered, now speaking of Chris Russo, who's a friend of mine, he posted that the covers he's been doing for Marvel have been his take on the official handbook of the Marvel Universe covers, which have a whole bunch of characters running across the double-page spread cover. And he did something like that for a pinup book. I forget who it's coming out by, Oni Press maybe? There's a Toxic Avenger pinup book coming out that he did a double-page spread, everybody running across like it was the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, only the Toxic Avenger universe characters, who I know nothing about. So I pre-ordered that one this week to add to the collection. Let's see, I have one. My bag isn't so heavy today because there's only one book in it to give away. One of my students who's a comic book fan, I'm giving her an Art of Nick Cardy book. I happen to have 2 of them, so I figured I'd give one away, as I've been trying to thin things out in my collection back home. Good old jackhammer. Let's see what we got. We got tough to see what's coming. Who's this? Whoops. Truck. Parts that What are we coming up on? 16th Street. I completely lost track of where I was. I was like, did I walk past 14th? I don't think so. Nope, we're coming up on 16th. But I'm giving away an Art of Nick Cardy book to her. Nick Cardy did a lot of stuff in the 60s, I remember. That's the stuff I'm most familiar with of his. Teen Titans especially. He did Aquaman too quite a bit. And he did some really nice covers. Especially like his Teen Titans covers. I was just looking at one of them, where a masked skier with a gun had killed all the Teen Titans. I forget what issue it was, but it was a cover I hadn't seen before by Nick Cardy. I think it was posted online somewhere. But that one was pretty cool. Let's see what's over here underneath that. Oh, some bagels. Arc bagels. I also have a couple of rolling rulers I'm giving away. The ordering that new gridded ruler on Blick brought this up in my mind last night. Because I also give art supplies away to my students. If it's stuff I haven't used in ages, especially. And there's this thing called the rolling ruler that I tried out. I don't know, must be 10 years ago now. I knew some people who used it. It's just a ruler, but on one side of the ruler, here comes the wind. On one side of the ruler is this roller. And the idea is that you make parallel lines with this. There's all sorts of markings and stuff on it. So you can make a line, roll the ruler down exactly, a quarter of an inch and make another line. And the whole idea is to make it easy to make parallel lines. Well, I figured I'd try one out. It was like 10 years ago. So I bought a rolling ruler. I think I got like the 10-inch and the 6-inch rolling ruler. Here we are on 14th Street. Left turn, Clyde. So that's what I did. Bought a couple of them. The long one and the short one to try out. I never used them. I've got something called to make parallel lines, I either use the gridded ruler. I like using that because you can line up lines with the grid on the transparent ruler. Or I've got this thing called a half cross-hatching machine, which is just like this little, it's sort of like a T-square coming out of this little, it's kind of like a metal dowel, and it's got a little dial on it where you can set it from 1 to 5 millimeters, and then you press this little button lever on it, and it moves the ruler down exactly that amount. So you can set it to 2.5 millimeters, hit the button, and just keep making 2.5 millimeter parallel lines. I find that a lot easier to use than the rolling ruler. So the rolling ruler never made it into my starting lineup. It's just been sitting around the studio for 10 years. I decided to bring them in, see if some students want them, because I'm never going to use them. They may as well. Pigeons. All right. That was a nice change of pace walk down 8th Avenue. If you know, go across town on 14th. Of course, it's a longer walk because now I have to walk the distance between 7th and 8th, which, as you see here, is a fair bit of distance. But we'll walk up to the corner there, and then I'll say goodbye. After talking about art supplies for 20 minutes. And a little bit of comic books in there, too. Just a little bit. I always look forward to going to the comic book store on Wednesdays. See what's waiting for me, see what's new on the racks. All right, here we go. Coming up to the corner of 14th Street and 7th Avenue. Well, let me see if I can, there's 1 second left on the clock. I'm gonna dash across anyway. All right, as I dash across the street, I will catch you guys next time.